Hey everybody, tonight we're going to be talking about General Haptics Update number 14. If you're not familiar, this is something I do after I collect 5 pieces. I get them back together again and take a second look at them, and we'll talk about things I may have discovered since I did my review that might be worth going over. And I might have a warning or two for you. I do have a little bit of a warning on the tape drive. So we'll talk about these, and we'll do it one at a time. And this is the earliest one that I bought to the latest one that I bought. So in chronological order, we will re-examine these. Please join me. Okay, well, this is the Stig Star, STGSTAR. Sometimes it's advertised as Spy Star, SPY-STAR, but it's aluminum. These are aluminum, titanium. So these are the first 4 aluminum sliders that I've had. This one is inherently slippery. There's no real grip surface on the back. It's easier to sort of push it from behind and then push back down on it and use it that way. This I got off of Amazon for about $20, and of course the advantage there is it takes, about 3 days to get to you if you live in the United States. But you can get it for about 15 on AliExpress. Just have to wait about 15 days or so. Be a nice piece to start out with, and it has the option. We've got 3 tracks here. The 2 tracks on the outside are the same, and the middle one, of course, has a spaced detents with a little skate track between them. Right now I have it on the most dense, the 2 outer tracks, and it is, let's count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 clicks in either direction. And this part here is laser etched, and that is a place for you to put your thumb and at least have a little bit of a purchase. So, not bad, not bad. Okay, the next is the Stig Star, again, also sometimes as Spy Star. I call it the Vibrant, and that's how it was advertised, at least as best as I could determine. All it does say on here is SDC Design, Hyatt Regency, which is strange, but like I said, I believe in the review video, I think that's just some Chinese designer's strange way of associating like a high quality name with what they're trying to say is a high quality item, which it turns out for about $20, this is a great pivot slider. And the best thing about it is that being square, you can rotate it from the bottom down here rather than up here at the top. But you have the option to do whatever you like. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think it's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11 clicks. 11 clicks. And who knows how many clicks it is around. But works really well. Inexpensive. I'm only seeing this on AliExpress for some reason. It hasn't yet shown up on Amazon. I'm sure when it does, it'll cost twice as much, but I paid about $20 for this. So about 15 to 20 for that, about 20 for this, maybe 15 to 20 if you get it off of Amazon. Now this one is used, it came from Kyle over on his YouTube channel, Fidget Focused. It's the Schrödinger's Cat Lite version in aluminum. It's a 2-level slider. It can be either mechanical, as you can see from the detents, or magnetic. The other magnets are not in it right now. Right now it's set up to be strictly mechanical, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 clicks either direction. You can change that by taking this apart and moving. You can see there's holes here, hopefully in the reflections. There's holes to move the limiting pin as well as the spring and ball locations. So right now it's set up to travel in both directions, but I could set this up so that this would be, you could start it so that it's, though it's hard to demonstrate with. Let's all imagine this together. This part will slide back all the way to here, and then you'd have a much longer a longer draw. So if that's what your preference is, you could set it up to do that. It's aluminum. I like the feel of aluminum just like those two. It has a nice density to it. It does have a tendency to be slippery, but this one avoids that by being sort of a sand-blasted textures, very light sandblasting it almost feels, but it's also anodized and has this triangular pattern cut, which pleases everyone that I've handed this to. But I've been really happy with this one. That would go for normally on AliExpress somewhere around $80. And there is an alternate piece for the top that you can put on here that it comes in different colors. It's usually plastic of some kind, a G10 I think, and you can put a buckyball in here. I didn't bring the magnets with me, but all you have to do is put a stick through this hole that lifts this panel off, and then you can put in 4 magnets and take out the springs and balls entirely, and then it becomes a magnet only slider. And it's I believe it's either 2 clicks or 3 clicks. I think it's only 2 clicks, but again, you can sort of set that up depending on where you put the limiting pins. So that's that for that one. This next one is the tape drive by EAEDC. I neglect to call it ED-Cell. That doesn't sound right. It's titanium. They're all titanium. This is their average version. I think there's a bluish version, but it has a unique pendant device that I fairly trust this one. I had another slider of the same similar size and shape that had a pendant attachment, and when I tested that one, it was a little dangerous. You'd likely to lose it, but this one's held in pretty good, and then the video will cover that in detail. But it comes with a chain. The chain fits through this little loop area here, and you could fit paracord through there. I think maybe gutted paracord would fit better than regular paracord, but my clips work. My clip works pretty well in that too. But when you take that out, then you have full motion. Now this one has an interesting feature. It's mechanical. You can see the detents down here on the bottom, and it has some magnets in here underneath these 2 Teflon plates, which interact with these 2 round tape drives. Now I had to buy 2 of these. I'll explain that in a minute, but I'll take it apart in a minute and show you a little bit more about what the inside looks like and what my warning, so-called warning, would be for this piece. But there's magnets underneath these Teflon plates that interact with these 2 round tape-looking drives, and those spin when they pass over the magnets. So you get, and they're also both made to be eccentric or off-centered. Their weight, half of their weight has been taken out, has been machined out. So when that spins around, it doesn't just spin around, it vibrates when it spins around because one side's heavier than the other side. So it's an interesting haptic. It doesn't make much noise. Hopefully you can hear the rattling that continues after I stop. Pretty unique feeling. I like it. I like it a lot. But I did lose a piece that I think was on the verge of falling out on its own anyhow. So at the very end, we'll talk about that. But this is a little bit tricky to put in. But once you figure it out, it's as easy as that. Okay, lastly, this is the designed Kada. It's aluminum. I thought they were all aluminum. The batch that I looked at, that I bought from a store on AliExpress, they were aluminum, but then I noticed that the other stores had them in a variety of other materials like G10, Bakelite. Pretty sure I saw, I can't think of it now. I'll put it up in the corner. Anyhow, Other materials are available for this. I talked about those in my review, so you can see which are available. They're all at around the $50 mark, which I think is a little bit pricey for this, although it is well made. The grip on the surface is good. There's a little bit of it says the Kada, Kada on the back, and that turns out to be a nice piece, a nice place to get a bit of a purchase on it again, just like on the front. But you can also set this up. You can probably barely see in there. There's 2 tracks, one on each side, and one is dense, one is spaced with a little skate between each one, and that gives you 5 clicks in either direction, and this gives you 10 clicks, I think. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. So 10 clicks in either direction is how I like it. And it's a very nice shape, a very pleasant, pleasing feeling thing to hold. And I really like, again, aluminum. It has a nice density to it. I'm not one that likes the noisy springs, the ping, the sound of the ping, and I'm not one who likes any kind of tuning fork slider. And I would almost call this a tuning fork slider, except it's not tuning fork. I would call this is more of a what I would call a reactive slider. So there's magnetic haptics going on along with the mechanical haptics. But I got off track there. Anyhow, there's not much more to say about these. They all work really well with my little lanyard clip, which you've probably seen from time to time. And I think the last thing we'll do is talk about that one. Okay, so I have, like I said, I've bought 2 of these. Now, there's a reason. These both came from EAEDC. I don't know if I said that or not. And I've since purchased another item from EAEDC. So we'll see how that goes. But so these both came in like 9 days to me in the United States. I'm not sure, they must be located in the States, but either way, that's pretty fast. Now this one, I took the screws. There's 4 screws located in these corners here to take this top off. I've already done that. So let's just pop this off. Now my problem was, let me show you how this is constructed first. Can you notice what's missing? That silver ring right there is missing from this one. And it turns out that that is sort of an adapter which holds this piece. You see, this is loose and it's not concentric, but that makes it concentric and holds it onto the bearing. So we'll pop that off real quick. What happened here was, when I took it apart for my video, I did nothing more than this. Both sides come off. This side will take off just to show you what it should be like when it comes off. So here's what it should look like. And the bearing is trapped between this side of the wheel. See how it's hollowed out here? Like I was just saying earlier, it vibrates because when it spins, it's we call it eccentric. It's heavier on one side than the other side. But that ring, that little ring there, holds the bearing between the front and the back. And it must be either pressed in or glued in. But either way, when I took it off to demonstrate it this far, just like I'm doing right now during the review video, I somehow made this piece loose. And it's not loose. It's, like I said, it's either, if I try to pop it out, it doesn't want to come out. I've tried already. So it's either glued in or pressed in. Either way, this then slides on top of these 2 posts, and each one of these posts has a tiny little O-ring, which should be maybe lubricated with some silicone grease at some point in time, just so it doesn't dry out. But now I can probably show you a little bit better as I move this. You see the magnets force it to spin around a little bit. But on this one, the bearing now comes out. It wants to go to that magnet right away, but the bearing now comes out, and you know, the bearing should sit down in here. There's a little concave place for it to sit down in there, and then that ring would go on top of it. And unfortunately, I was at work after the review, like the following day, and I noticed through these windows here, I noticed that this one over here, this piece here was loose. It was sticking up, sort of sticking out of this top plate. And I thought, well, that looks dangerous. It looks like it could fit through there maybe and fall out. And I don't know that if it could or not. I've measured it, and we can do that quickly here. I'm working in. I usually measure my fidget stuff in millimeters because that's kind of the standard, but I'm used to working with empirical measurements. So we're doing this in thousandths, and I'm getting a diameter of about 0.392. So that's 393 thousandths. Now if we check the diameter of this hole, could it fall through that? 392. 391. So they're only 1 thou away from being too big for this loose piece to accidentally slip out of the hole. And the fact that this hole has a big square part cut out of the side makes me think that it is possible. So keep an eye on, if you have this tape drive, keep an eye on these inner pieces here and make sure they don't go loose on you. And if they do, like if I could find the story, the funny thing is I took it apart at work. It's not funny, it's sad. I took it apart at work, and I went to an engineer that has a micro screwdriver set, and I don't have one out at my desk. And I went over and just used the top of a file cabinet as my work surface, and I started working on it. And when I took the lid off, I don't know how it happened, but it went fling, and I could see this piece that's missing, that round piece here. It shot off generally in like a direction in front of me, and there's 2 offices, actually 3 engineer offices right there, little cubicles, and they have open boxes all over the floor, filled with samples of stuff and everything, and then their desks are always messy and everything, and I didn't want to go searching through all their stuff anyhow. That'd be rude. But I looked all over the floors, and I looked on their desk surfaces and everything, and once they got to work and I talked to them, we took a good look around. We couldn't find it anywhere, so that's a shame. That's my fault. I lost the piece, so I bought a whole new one. And the hopes are that maybe, fingers crossed, that'll show up someday. I'll be able to put this one back together again, good as new. But other than that, I think that's about it. We're into the winter season here now. My last camp video was my last camp video for the year. I'm not going to be going out anymore. It gets dark by about 5 p.m. here. And generally it's been getting down to about freezing or below at night. And I'm not equipped for that, and I don't like it. I don't like to go out in the wintertime, especially because it gets dark early and you use up a lot more firewood and everything. So you don't have to suffer through any of those. You can always skip over those camping videos anyhow. That's all for me, and that's for fun. And so's this. But as always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Bye.